manifest in any way where he thinks that you're going to actually get it and pay attention, but you're going to feel utterly sane at this time. So just stay static, remain static, breathe, stay on path, go down and write down. If you're not writing a gratitude letter to God every day, to sweet Jesus, write a gratitude letter between 1 and 5 pages a day. Just let it flow. Start from the breath in your lungs and the sight in your eyes and your freedom and your sanity and everything. Speak back to God. That's what communion's about. He's showing you these things and overwhelming you because he's craving to speak with you. He wants you to ask for things on your journey. He wants to communicate with you. So if you found yourself experiencing these things and you found this video looking for answers, just be honored that God needs you for something and he wants to use you. He's waking you up every day, giving you this massive chance to take this job. And here you are. And I think that he's going to use me to record this video to reach some of the others. In this book, I had a massive car accident in my taxi cab. It's a long story. It's in a chapter called Angels and Signs, but I almost died that night. I was not in methamphetamine psychosis yet, but I did have a major accident. And I almost, like, for days afterwards, I saw in my head flashing like light bulbs in the shape of a sign, but it said, find the others. Find the others. I kind of know what that means today. The other one was the big event. I thought I was going crazy. I kept seeing this flashing sign in my head. God was screaming something at me. It was very significant. It never left me. And now I know that the others are the other spiritually gifted people in this awakening. I've always said this. I believe that there was this major spiritual awakening that began in like 2016. And I believe that it's still going on now and it's actually ramping up. I believe that there's something going on in the cosmic heavens, in the spiritual world. First, second, and third heaven. That is scriptural too. Derek Prince teaches that. The first heaven is the one we can see. The second heaven is where they believe the devil and hell resides. And in between, that's the in-between. And then the third heaven is where the one true living God is. You know? So I believe that there was an awakening happening, and he's been trying to reach a lot of his chosen people to go out and carry out these missions, because we're probably getting close to the scriptures being fulfilled, you know. And if you're experiencing this, you know, most likely you're a part of this and you're needed. The acceptance stage is number 5. This is where you start to calm down, I like to call it. And this is a great thing because you're not running around like a golden retriever puppy, trying to chase your tail, gnawing at the bones, going up to everybody in the house and like slobbering all over their black pants and saying, hey, guess what's happening? Guess what's happening? No. Listen, we love you, but calm down. Okay? Now, this is a great thing. It's when you accept everything, you just breathe with me. Let's just breathe. Okay, listen, God chose you. He made you act a little bit crazy. He showed you some things. God started speaking to you extremely loud. He took your breath away. You might have fallen on your face too. You might have had tears of joy, crying. You might have had tears of sorrow and shame. You might have gone through every emotion by this point. But now, by the time you get to number 5, you're going to breathe. You're going to accept who you are and what God has for you. You're going to accept all these blessings that start coming, because in the acceptance stage, you start getting blessed beyond your wildest dreams. You'll start accomplishing things. You start believing in yourself. You have this newfound love for yourself. I used to hate myself to the point of, suicide attempts, sure death, a tragic drug addiction, an alcohol addiction that lasted 25 years in the dungeon. But during the acceptance stage, after all the dust cleared, I cracked my bones open and bled the marrow of my own pain and soul onto the keys through this book that God channeled through me, Fire and Ice, the Meth Bible. This is the bridge between the junkie and Jesus. This is for the people who are too terrified because of their meth and sex addictions, pornography addictions, their alcohol addictions, whatever it may be, to walk into a church. He gave me this book, 716 pages, and I wrote it in 6 months to the day, and I never really changed much until the final edit where I just had to tweak some things. But God gave me that book. I only have a 6th grade education. You will find hidden talents within you. God will use this spiritual awakening, the insanity, the shock, the communion, the acceptance, the isolation, all of it. And he will take things out of you and start to make you into something new. You are new wine. You are a new creation. And you will start to bleed creativity. You will start to bleed and ooze self-confidence all over the place. And people are going to be like, who are they all of a sudden? People are going to call you crazy. People are going to... They're going to label you insane because of how happy you are after everything you've been through. You will be hated. And I don't want to scare anybody, but you will be hated for this awakening. People will hate your joy. Your spirit is all of a sudden, the demons that are in other people, that are attached to other people, they're going to start to be alarmingly aware of your presence when you walk into a room. You are chosen by God. You are marked. You are smudged by the Holy Spirit. You've got the oil, baby, and you are chosen. And when you walk up into a room, people are going to fear you. That fear turns to hatred and anger, and you will experience that. But guess what? Nothing can touch you, because when God chooses you for something like this, and I can attest to this, he issues an order of protection around you, and the angels are with you even in the wilderness. He sends you out in the wilderness stage to learn. That's stage 4, you know. So he sends you out there to learn. And then once you're in the acceptance stage, once you've calmed down, once you accepted your mission, you know, people and circumstances and provision for this new mission you're going to be on, you're going to start to walk into purpose, and it's going to start being revealed like an onion peel. And you're going to start to realize, okay, this is what I was born to do. This is what I was born to do, and he needs me to do this, and this is my ministry, and this business he's going to have me start is my ministry. This book I'm going to write is my ministry. It's going to get me to platforms to speak to people all over the world. This YouTube channel you're going to go start, whatever it is. Your family starts in your house. That's your first ministry, and it's spider webs all over the place. And people that are closest to you are not going to understand what has happened to you. But, you know, if people really love you, if they're tied to your destiny like Naomi and Ruth, then nothing shall separate you. And every other person, place, and thing shall fall away, and it shall be. So you may feel alone in that loneliness stage throughout the whole thing for a while, until you start accepting my circle ain't so big anymore. And I don't need it to be, because I got like 4 or 5 real ones that are detrimental to this mission God has me on. And he plucked away all the dead vines and all the toxic people and everybody who was a distraction. And now they're all gone. And I'm left with only the real ingredients in the recipe. See? The ascension stage is for you specifically. It's when you start elevating. You're not better than other people by any means. We're all one, okay? We're all in the same vine, and Christ is the connection. He is the root. He is everything. The Son of God, the one true living God, the connection, the one that we can go to with our prayers, that speaks to God. We can't even be in the presence of God without Jesus, right? So you'll go to the ascension where you start rising above things, and you're gonna slide into that. Okay, you're gonna be finding your purpose, and you're gonna elevate. That's the ascension part. You're gonna elevate above anything that doesn't have to do with that mission. Nothing else really matters. You're not going to spend your time doing anything else. Even your downtime, your chilling time, your resting periods, which you absolutely need, and you're working out, you're eating, everything like that. Those are times where you're regrouping to go to the next stage, to push. The last stage of the spiritual awakening, perfectly numbered, number 7, is the teaching stage, where, like Dick Gregory said, when the universe, and I say God, when the universe picks you, is what he said, puts on the magic glasses for you. And there's some rules that come with them. You can't force anybody else to wear them. You can never take them off. And you start to see things for what they are, not for what they appear to be. The veil has been torn from your eyes. God will not allow you to see through the old lens that you used to see through. You've been awakened. You will never be the same. And in the teaching stages, is like, I picture this. There's going to be marks on a stage where God's going to shine light for a brief second, and there's an X, and he's going to need you to go over there and stand in that spot. You got to start hitting marks. Boom, boom, boom. God whispers in your ear, he says, move left. You move left. You go talk to this person. You go for that job, whatever it is. He's going to show you, and you got to walk to that mark in the middle of the pitch black and darkness, but he showed you where it is. Walk in that general area, and if you hit that mark, you're going to start to know the voice of God. Then I look at it like this. If you're in the teaching stage, you're going to be super confident in your awakening. You're not only not calmed down, you're like the golden retriever puppy again, only you're a little bit bigger and you know a lot more. And you know what? I'm going to slobber over everybody's pants just because I can. That's the thing. I don't know if that's the greatest. I love golden retrievers. I think they're like the sweetest beings on planet Earth. That's why I use that. Okay? However, okay, now you're going to be bold, confident, and you're going to start showing other people the way. Like I am here right now showing you, right? This is to come in your story. You're supposed to find the others as well. So it's like having a flashlight in the darkness. You're going to have your 4 or 5 or 10 people in your life that are really close to you, right? And you're walking in the dark. You're walking in the woods, and you've got this flashlight. Now you can't see 3 miles down the road. It's not like the sun. You're not going to know everything that's coming. But out of everybody in the group, you got the magic flashlight, y'all. I'm talking to you, where you can turn it on and you can grab their hands and say, follow me. I know the way. That flashlight is God's voice. That's a gift he gave you in your spiritual awakening.